Today is May 11th, 2019, and Jacqueline and I are sitting right now at Oakland International Airport. Why Oakland? Because a couple years ago we started flying with Norwegian Air, which is really cheap flights to Europe. So right now we're waiting on our flight to Copenhagen, and then we're connecting through there to Krakow in Poland, and then going to Warsaw, and then spending some time in Turkey, Istanbul and Cappadocia, and then ending our trip, our 2-week trip in Crete in Greece. I'm so excited. They might be a budget airline, but they fly these really nice, relatively new planes, these 787s with entertainment systems and everything. Just an hour to go on this 10-hour flight. Making our layover now in Copenhagen. Everything is so clean and so Scandinavian here. Time to get some food. There's this really nice looking bakery coffee house here. We have this cappuccino, of course a Danish, and this chocolate rye bread. We had a 4-hour layover here in Copenhagen, which disappointingly isn't quite enough time to leave the airport. But there's so much to do and see in this airport itself, which is great. We spent a bit of time reading these happiness books because Denmark has been rated the most happy country in the world. Time to get on our connecting flight to Krakow. Because it's so late, we had to come to this 24-hour late night restaurant just to get anything to eat. Alright, now it's time to head to the hotel, and we'll come back and explore the old town tomorrow. Just arrived at our very elegant hotel. Good morning to Krakow. It's bright and early. I even took a jog out this morning because of jet lag. But we are going now for some breakfast. This is quite a luxurious spread. Wow, look at all that. We just spent this morning strolling around Old Town and around the city. But what we're actually doing today is taking a day trip out to Auschwitz, the concentration camp.
So are we ready? Can we start?
Ready. We're now touring the second camp, Birkenau.
The construction of this place had started in autumn 1941 as a second part of Auschwitz. Basically, it wasn't possible to make Auschwitz I any bigger, so they need to search for a new place. Here at the empty area of Meadow and Field.
Learning about the history here was an incredibly moving experience. Everyone who visits Poland should really visit these museums to learn about the history here. This is definitely by no means the most fun or light destination to visit, but definitely one of the most meaningful and memorable. Sitting down to dinner in this lovely restaurant. We're starting with bigos, this meat stew, and of course Polish bread. Here's the main course. I got the stuffed cabbage and venison. Done with dinner now, but it's still kind of early, so we're going to explore the old town. Sitting down now at this beautiful cafeteria, just with some veggies. Isn't it just charming out here on the main square? Good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, it's a really rainy day here in Krakow. But after our breakfast today, we're exploring the old town again. We're exploring this gallery of 19th century Polish art. This is Cloth Hall, right underneath the museum we were just at. But there's all sorts of vendors selling very modern touristy stuff. Krakow was home to Pope John Paul II, known as who's been called the greatest Pole. And this is the basilica where he served. It's getting quite cold out, so now is probably a good time for a lunch stop. Poland is known for their milk bars. What's it called again?
Bar mleczny.
These are kind of these sort of thing during the communist days, but a lot of them have been updated and modernized. Here's this very, very modern renovated milk bar, and these beautiful pierogies and some side salad. We're at the underground museum underneath the cloth hall. There are some archaeological excavations here, but everything has been turned to a super modern museum. Even though the rain is really nasty, it's not stopping us from exploring. We're around the Jewish quarter, the old Jewish quarter, Kazimierz, but today there's a lot of hipster food places. Stumbled into this old-fashioned looking Jewish bookstore. This neighborhood also has a ton of food trucks. This is just not the right weather for them. After a short walk, actually quite a long walk, we're now visiting the Schindler Museum, made famous of course by the film Schindler's List. That was a really fascinating museum with lots of interesting exhibits. Now we're back in the Jewish quarter though. It's getting near dinner time, so we're actually going to have some Jewish food. I have to say, this is actually one of the only restaurants I really wanted to go to here in Krakow. This is Hamza, a Middle Eastern restaurant. I absolutely love the atmosphere here and their motto, make hummus, not war.